This 130-year-old tortoise rescues baby hippo's life. Today they are best friends. What happened after will shock you. What will happen when a baby hippo, lost after a big tsunami, meets a giant tortoise who's lived alone for 100 years? It sounds strange, but something amazing is about to happen. Their story takes a turn no one saw coming. And it all begins now. The story begins in December 2004, when a massive tsunami hit Southeast Asia. Huge waves crashed into towns, destroying everything in their path. People lost their homes, their families, and their lives. It was a heartbreaking time the world will never forget. But in the middle of all this sadness, something unexpected happened. A baby hippo was living happily with his family in a peaceful river. When the tsunami came, he was swept far out into the ocean. He was just a baby, alone, scared, and hurt. Still, he didn't give up. He kicked his tiny legs and tried his best to stay above water. Hours later, the waves threw him back to land. But it wasn't home. He was in a strange place, far away and badly injured. It looked like he wouldn't survive on his own. But fate had a different plan for him. When the hunger hit, the baby hippo started looking for food. He wandered through trees, past bushes, and finally ended up in the backyard of a kind couple who lived near the shore. When they saw him, they didn't panic or scream. Instead, they were surprised by how cute he looked. He was dirty, hurt, and scared, but their hearts melted. Instead of shooing him away, they gently gave him some food. When they saw that he was badly injured, they didn't wait. They immediately called the local wildlife rangers for help. The wildlife rangers rushed to the scene and found the baby hippo barely alive. He was weak, shaking, and clearly traumatized. They carefully lifted him and took him to safety. He needed help fast. The rangers named him Titan, after the brave volunteer who helped rescue him. Titan wasn't just tired, he was broken inside. So the rangers took him to Haller Park, a safe wildlife sanctuary in Kenya. There, his recovery began. The team worked day and night to heal his wounds and feed him. Slowly, his body began to recover, but his heart still felt empty. He had lost his family, his home, and everything he knew. But Titan's story wasn't over yet. Once he was strong enough, the staff placed him in an enclosure to begin his new life. And he wasn't alone. Inside that enclosure was a 100-year-old Aldabra giant tortoise named Rocky. Rocky had always lived a calm, quiet life, moving slowly and staying out of trouble. But now he had company. The moment Titan saw Rocky, something in his heart lit up. Maybe it was Rocky's big size, his calm nature, or the way he didn't seem scary at all. Whatever it was, Titan felt safe. He ran straight to the old tortoise and gently pressed himself against him, just like he would have done with his mother. At that moment, Titan decided Rocky was his new friend. Maybe even his new family, but Rocky wasn't used to this. He had spent most of his 100 years living quietly, alone. The sudden closeness confused him. He hissed and pulled his head inside his shell. Titan stepped back, feeling a little hurt, but he didn't give up. Every day, Titan followed Rocky around, through the trees, over the grass, and even into the little pond. At first, Rocky was annoyed. He moved slower, trying to avoid the baby hippo. But day by day, things changed. Rocky began to let him stay close. Then, they started walking side by side. They napped together, ate together, and even swam together. They became best friends. Titan would lick Rocky and follow him around like a shadow. Wherever Rocky went, Titan was right there beside him. The park staff noticed something interesting. Titan was acting like Rocky was his mother. Ecologist Lena Maseko, who spent a lot of time watching them, believed Titan truly thought Rocky was another hippo. Rocky was big, round, and had a similar color to an adult hippo. Titan, still just a baby, couldn't tell the difference. All he knew was that Rocky made him feel safe. They did everything together. They swam side by side, ate together, and even slept close to each other. A young hippo normally stays with its mom for about 4 years to learn how to survive. But Titan didn't have his mom. He didn't have a herd. All he had was Rocky. And even though Rocky was a tortoise, he filled that empty space in Titan's heart perfectly. Titan became very protective. If anyone came too close to Rocky, Titan would act tough. He was ready to defend his mother, no matter what. News about their friendship spread around the world. People were touched by the bond between a baby hippo and a giant tortoise. Articles were written. Videos were made. And soon, Titan and Rocky became famous. Seko, to write a book about their story. They had written books about animals before, but nothing like this. The book was such a big hit that they ended up writing a second one. Still, one question remained. How could a hippo and a tortoise understand each other? They were completely different animals, but somehow they found a way. Titan and Rocky used their own way of talking. Soft nudges, gentle pushes, and simple sounds. When Titan wanted to go for a walk, he'd nudge Rocky, and Rocky would follow. They didn't speak the same language, but their bond spoke volumes. The more time Titan spent with Rocky, the more he started acting like a tortoise. The park staff began noticing strange little things. Titan didn't eat grass like most hippos do. Instead, he loved eating Rocky's meals, leaves, carrots, and other veggies. He also didn't respond to hippo sounds or behave like other young hippos. While hippos are usually active at night, Titan would sleep at night and stay active during the day, just like Rocky. It was clear Titan wasn't learning how to be a hippo. He was copying Rocky's lifestyle. While it was sweet and heartwarming, it also worried the staff. Titan wasn't picking up the skills he would need as he grew older, and that wasn't the only concern. Adult hippos can grow to over 6,000 pounds. Rocky, even as a large tortoise, only weighed about 400 pounds. Titan was getting bigger every day, and even though he was gentle, he could accidentally hurt his old friend. Rocky was also very old, over 130 years, and slowing down. He couldn't keep up with a playful, growing hippo forever. The staff knew they had to do something before things became dangerous, but separating them wouldn't be easy. Titan believed Rocky was his mother. They had been side by side for almost 3 years. How could anyone break that bond without causing heartbreak? That's when the staff found a solution. They introduced Titan to Sable, a young female hippo who lived nearby. At first, Titan was shy and confused. He didn't know who she was or what to think of her. After all, he had only known Rocky. But slowly, visit by visit, Titan began to warm up to Sable. She was kind, gentle, and patient. Before long, the two started spending more time together, and a new friendship began to grow. This time, Titan's new friend could teach him how to be a real hippo. Sable showed him how to graze on grass, swim like a hippo, and respond to the sounds other hippos made. With her help, Titan started learning the things his mother would have taught him. Soon, Titan moved into a new home with Sable. It had more space, fresh grass, and a big pond to splash in. It was the perfect place for a young hippo to grow up. But his story with Rocky wasn't over. Titan still visits his old friend from time to time. When they see each other, Rocky stretches out his neck for a familiar lick, and Titan gently nudges him, just like he used to. Their bond is still strong and full of love. Titan's life could have ended in the tsunami back in 2004. But instead, he found something rare and beautiful, a friend who gave him comfort, care, and love when he needed it most. Rocky, the wise old tortoise, became the mother Titan had lost. And Titan, in return, gave Rocky joy, purpose, and friendship. Their story reminds us that love doesn't care about size, shape, or species. True friendship can grow in the most unexpected ways. Sometimes, the family we find is even more powerful than the one we lose.